everybody, and welcome back to, fantasy football, I guess. So the Premier League has started, and truth be told, absolutely nothing interesting happened in it, in any of the games. Pretty boring. I am, of course, joking. It was pretty mental. First kind of weekend, I guess, starting off on the Friday with the Arsenal match. I guess let's see how we did. So, first thing to say, I'd made some changes to the squad. The biggest one being that Sanchez was injured. I think he's injured for the next few matches, so I brought in Mane. That freed me up a little bit of cash, so I brought in Keane in defence for Everton. And I also switched out Hernandez, I think, for Sandro in attack. I think that's all I made changes compared to last time. So let's see how we did. So we got 50 points, the average being 58, so we were slightly below average. So not the best start, but as you can see, there seems to be a certain centre-back there who cost us a pretty penny. Mostly I think a lot of the games went as I kind of felt they might go. I think really the biggest probably shock for me was obviously Chelsea losing. Other than that, I didn't really feel like there were many shocks on the opening kind of weekend. I know the fact that Leicester were up against Arsenal to begin with may have shocked some people, but Arsenal did in the end win the game, albeit very late, and Leicester are not a bad side either. It's a tough first game. Watford, Liverpool, I would have expected Liverpool to win that, and I think I did expect Liverpool to win that, but they defended so badly. That's the thing. I think Liverpool going forward are one of the best sides in the Premier League, but my God, they can't defend. There's only one team with a worse defence than Liverpool. That is Crystal Palace. Who, as a Crystal Palace fan, that was tough. That was tough. Watching the highlights, I felt that Palace didn't play the worst I've ever seen them play. I thought Huddersfield played very well and were very clinical with their finishing. We were terrible defensively, especially set pieces and things like that. We were just awful. But what you have to bear in mind, and I don't know if I said it on video, but I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, guaranteed that Crystal Palace will lose this because Huddersfield are a very settled side. They know the way they play. They played it all last season. Crystal Palace have a new manager and a completely new style. 3 at the back, 3-4-3. Playing a much more passing game. Usually we play very direct, counter-attack football. And it showed like that we didn't really know what we were doing. As every season as a Crystal Palace fan, I always turn around and think there has to be 3 worse teams than us in the league this season for us to survive. Like, that's the thing I hang on to. I don't know if there is going to be this season. 5 years in the Premier League is not terrible, and we've been punching above our weight for a while, so if it does happen and we get relegated, it happens. We have a good youth set up, and we haven't, I don't think, financially overspent, certainly from all reports, we certainly haven't financially overspent, so we'd lose a few players and stuff like that, but it's very early days to talk about that anyway. We've been in kind of relegation trouble for the last 2 seasons, up until halfway through the season, and then we've come back. So, we've always been, a lot of people's favourites. I think, weirdly, this season we weren't a lot of people's favourites, when actually I think we were in worse shape this season than we have been in previous seasons, just because of the changes and stuff like that. That's not to say that I personally think Frank de Boer is a bad manager. I don't. I think he's a good manager. I think he needs a bit of time, and I think the Premier League is one of those places where you often don't have a lot of time. So we'll see. We really will see with that one. Anyway, that's enough Crystal Palace talk. Let's move on to positives. So from my players' performances, De Gea I was right with at the end of the day. Clean sheet. might just take a little bit of time to bed in. I'm obviously an idiot. He didn't. He scored 2 goals. He was fantastic. Man United were fantastic. That's the best probably Man United performance I've seen since Ferguson. Truthfully, I thought Rashford looked incredible. Just streaking down, streaking forward through kind of down the wing. Lukaku obviously clinical finishing. Just everybody, Mkhitaryan, great deliveries and set pieces and stuff like that. Mata looked really good. Just everyone looked really good for Man United, scarily. We've seen before though, teams can start really well and then kind of peter off a little bit, so it's way too early to say like, oh, Man United are going to win the league, but if they perform like that every week, then it'll be difficult to stop. So yeah, De Gea, I thought they'd get a clean sheet, and I was right, and I thought De Gea was a good bet as a keeper, so I was pleased with that. Keane did really well for me, really, really well. Got 90 minutes and a clean sheet under his belt. Everton, I thought, a lot of people asked me, well, not a lot, I think one person asked me why I didn't have more Everton players in my side. I actually felt that Everton might take a little bit more time to bed in, and because they've had a lot of new signings, a lot of change. Obviously Lukaku's gone, they've brought in like Rooney and stuff like that. Rooney obviously scored, which is really good for him, because I think if he'd have gone like a load of games without scoring, then I think it really would have hit his confidence, and a lot of people would be talking about how he's just passed it, as they kind of have for the last 2 seasons, to be fair. But he scored a good goal, was a good header, so fair play to him. Sandro, yeah, didn't really do a lot, so I might switch him out this week. I mean, he got 2 points, I guess. He didn't get sent off, I guess, which is where Gary flipping Cahill comes in. So, why did I put a Chelsea defender in? Well, I mean, they're playing Burnley at home. Burnley never win away. They've struggled to score. They haven't exactly made the most inspired signings this season, and yet here we are. Gary Cahill, after 13 minutes, I think, gets sent off. Brilliant. I chose Cahill specifically because, I think with Terry gone, he's going to be a threat from corners. He's the captain, so he's likely to play most weeks. Obviously, I'm going to transfer him out now because he's not going to play for a while. So yeah, not much to say there really on the whole Chelsea Burnley thing. Everybody loves it when a big team loses to a smaller team on the first game of the season, but honestly, it doesn't matter too much. The thing I would take heart from that way more than anything else is the fact that Chelsea got back into it in the second half. Their sending off obviously completely rocked them, and I think if Fabregas hadn't got sent off, they probably would have just stood a chance of getting a point. Morata scoring and getting an assist is very good. I don't know why people keep saying about how that was a bad signing or whatever. I think that's a fantastic signing. I think he's a very good player. I kind of said this before, way more consistent than Costa. And to get a goal and an assist on your first game is really good. What do you want for people? It was a kind of a weekend of debut goals, wasn't it? You had Lacazette scoring for Arsenal, obviously Morata, you had the guy for Huddersfield scoring 2, Mooney, is it? Rooney scoring, I guess it's not a debut, is it? Ish, but you know what I'm saying. Obviously Lukaku scoring as well. So it was that kind of weekend really where things like that happen. So yeah, I would say don't panic, Chelsea fans, write Chelsea off at your peril, I would say, because I still think they've got a very good side. I still think they might make 1 or 2 signings just to shore things up, and at the end of the day, if you have a team that was good enough to win the league last season, I know it happened under Mourinho, but that was a different time I felt there. I think the biggest problem at the minute they have, Chelsea, is the Diego Costa situation destabilising. They need to sell him, and they need to do it quick, and they need to move on from there really. I think they did handle that whole situation very poorly. that situation well with such a volatile kind of person as Costa. I think he had to go because of the whole him wanting to leave for China kind of mid-season nearly destabilised them last year from winning the league. Obviously, I guess Costa probably had to, be on his best behaviour to get Costa, playing, or at least kind of, I don't know, maybe say to him, look, I don't know what he would have said to him really, because the funny thing is, with Costa, he seemed to want to leave midway through last season, and now he is kind of making out like he's this martyr who doesn't want to go, and it's like, it's really weird, isn't it? But as I said, he's a very volatile customer, so I think no matter how they kind of handled it, he was not going to handle it very well. So they just need to get him out and then look to maybe signing a couple of players and going on. But I think they've still got a very, very good team. So yeah, we'll see. Man City, I think, as weird as it sounds, I think Man City struggled a little bit in that game, and I think because they've signed a lot of players and stuff like that, they might take it a few weeks. But the thing is, it's a sign of a very strong team if you're going to perhaps struggle to get into your flow a little bit. I'm not saying they maybe struggled to kind of dominate Brighton, but I'm saying they kind of struggled to get in that kind of flow and that free scoring kind of nature that Guardiola obviously wants. It took him a while to get the breakthrough, but to still win 2-0 is still very, very good. And obviously Kyle Walker got his clean sheet bonus, which is great. I still think he's going to get a few assists for me, which is why I put him in there. Next up, we got Holding, who, Arsenal conceded 3, so yeah, that was never going to go very well. And I think he only played 66 minutes, yeah, so we'll see. Arsenal as a whole, fair play to him for coming back, fair play to Wenger for bringing on Ramsey and Giroud, who scored the 2 goals that won them the game. They were 3-2 down, and then he brought on Ramsey and Giroud, and they both scored to win 4-3. So you've got to give credit there. But I had to say, I don't think Petr Cech looked particularly solid. Now, I don't think Petr Cech's looked particularly solid since he started at Arsenal, and that probably is more to do with the defence in front of him than anything else. Yeah, I still think massive defensive problems for Arsenal. Like, you can sign all the strikers in the world, but they still have a very, very poor defence. So it seems to be the Premier League is all about bad defending right now. Is that what makes it so exciting? Is the fact that no one can defend, and that's why I think teams like West Brom, Burnley, and others do so well, because they can defend and they know they can sometimes squeak a goal here or there. It's interesting. It is interesting. Mane I brought in instead of Sanchez, obviously scored a goal, did well, so very, very happy with him. I think he looks a class player. If he can stay injury free this season, I think he's going to be really big. Ali did what Ali does best, which is score goals from midfield. Got a clean sheet bonus as well, so really happy with that. I thought his goal was fantastic as well. I think him and Rashford, the future of England looks bright with those two. They just look so dynamic and so good that I think they would just cause any defence issues, really. I remember I used to live in Milton Keynes, and I was never an MK Dons fan, but my housemates were, and they used to say to me, "Oh, this guy Ali, he is something special. Like, he's going to be on." I'm like, "What do you mean? He plays for like League One, MK Dons?" They're like, no, he's good. And then obviously he went to Spurs, and he is, and I guess Liverpool are probably kicking themselves because I think he was a Liverpool fan and he was in a hotel room with Brendan Rodgers ready to sign or something, but they pulled out at the last minute. That's got to go down as one of the biggest mistakes in transfer history, I think. But there you go. So yeah, Ali did exactly what I want to do. Redmond, Southampton. They drew 0-0. He got his clean sheet. Not really much to say there, really. No one's talking about this game, are they? It's the only 0-0. Nothing really happened interesting in it. I guess for both sides would probably take that. At the end of the day, it's not a loss. You haven't conceded, and you can go into your next game. Swansea, I think, definitely will, because I think Southampton are a dangerous side. And then we've got Firmino, who I was very, very happy with him. So he got his goal, he's got his assist. Very, very happy there with that. Harry Kane, not so happy. Harry Kane should have got a couple of goals, really. I think he always starts quite slowly, so I think it would have been better to put Lukaku in instead of Kane. In all honesty, I would have got way, way, way more points, plus the fact that he's my captain. So, yeah, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But that's the way it goes. Sometimes, I mean, I still think Harry Kane will probably end up one of the high scorers for the season, if not the high scorer. But I think Lukaku's going to push him this season, probably. And Sandro, not too much to say there. Took a chance on him. Thought Everton might get a few past Stoke, who haven't looked very good. I don't think. I kind of feel like Stoke are in a bit of an identity crisis. Like, I think Mark Hughes is a good manager. I think he always does well with the teams he goes to. They're never spectacular. I think he's tried to bring in a bit of flair to Stoke and to do that, but I think maybe, I don't know if he hasn't been backed up with as much money at times or whatever, but they've made some good signings. I think Kurt Zuma's going to look a good signing for them, but I wonder if this is the season where Stoke are going to struggle a little bit. I don't necessarily think they're going to get relegated, but I think maybe, I mean, we'll see, really. So there we go. That's the team for the week. 128 highest points. Fair play. So yeah, overall, I mean, obviously, the one good thing about that 4-0 is it means Palace aren't bottom of the table, although we should be. If we look for the next fixtures coming up, Swansea, Man United, I mean, everyone's going to put their money on Man United, but it would be a typical Man United thing to just go in that game and then just not do anything. Bournemouth, Watford, that's a game I would not like to call. Same with Burnley, West Brom. If I was going to say Burnley, West Brom, I'd say 0-0. I think Leicester will beat Brighton. I think Liverpool will beat Crystal Palace quite comfortably. I think Southampton, West Ham would probably be a score draw, maybe a win for Southampton. I think Arsenal will beat Stoke. Huddersfield, Newcastle, that's an interesting one. Newcastle, see, everybody kind of said like, oh, Huddersfield will go down, Brighton will go down. No one was really saying about Newcastle, but Newcastle haven't really spent a lot of money. Benitez is very unhappy, and their squad does not look very good. I think they got promoted last season on the basis of having Rafa Benitez, who is a very solid manager and gets his team working very well, and the fact that a lot of their players were too good for the Championship. The problem is that difference between the Championship and the Premier League is massive, and when a lot of your players can be too good for the Championship but not good enough for the Premier League. Dwight Gale is an example of that. I love Dwight Gale as an ex-Palace player. I think he's fantastic. I wish we'd have kept him. I'm not convinced he's good enough to be a regular starter for a Premier League side. I would love him to prove me wrong, and crack in 15 goals this season. But I feel like he's just an exceptional Championship striker who is kind of like not quite good enough Premier League striker. He's in that middle period. I hope he can kind of push on and do that. He is kind of like just a natural finisher, really. I think he's very good at that. But I'm not convinced that he's the player you want to see you out of relegation trouble. And I think Newcastle could be down there this season. Spurs-Chelsea. Spurs-Chelsea, that's going to be one, isn't it? That's the game of the week, really. Man City, Everton should be very interesting as well. I mean, here's the question. Do I keep obviously I'm going to get rid of Cahill. Do I keep Kane and Ali? I think what I will do is, for my team, I'm going to move the captaincy to Firmino. If I can do that. I don't know how to do that. Make captain. Okay. I don't actually know how to do that on the website. I know how to do it on the thing. To change change your captain, use the menu appears when clicking on the player's shirt. There we go. I should read things, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'm still going to keep Kane, just because you can only make one transfer a week, I think, and obviously I need to get Cahill out. I don't want to lose any points just yet. Although I think Sandro's not going to be good. What I could do is substitute Cahill like that. Oh, he's a midfielder, is he Chalobah? Because I think he did okay, actually. And they've got Bournemouth, so I could see a clean sheet there. And then I could switch Sandro for somebody and transfer Sandro out. Because I think that Man City away, I don't see him getting a goal. I'm probably really wrong there. I think the teams, the players who... I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look who we've got. Who do I think is going to be an easy win? Liverpool, I think is going to be an easy win. That's it really. I think the other games will be... I think Man United will win. I should probably put in another Man United player. So how much can I get for Sandro? 7.5. So what Man United player can I put in? I bet Rashford's way too expensive, isn't it? Max price of 7.5. Mooney, folks. Yeah, I'm probably going to eat my words, but I think they had really good weekends, and perhaps we won't see that as good from them. Oh, 7.5 Rashford. I thought he looked really good. I'm going to put him in. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, so my team. Not going to put any... no, I'm not going to... Did Colback play? No, he didn't play. Did Hanley play? No, he didn't play. Okay. Okay, so we've got Rashford now up front. And I didn't... I'm going to make Firmino captain, because I think he's going to get a ton against Crystal Palace. I'm not looking forward to that game at all. Usually we have a really good record against Liverpool, but usually that's because we hit them on the counter and do well from there, but now I'm just not so sure. I'm still going to keep Keane. He might not get me as many points like I would expect Man City to win that game, but I think in the long run he's going to do well. De Gea and goals, fine. Chalobah, Ali, Mane, yeah, I can see this. I can see this happening. Cool, okay, and yeah, I think with Spurs as well, a lot of people have kind of written Spurs off this season because they haven't really brought anybody. Look at Spurs' transfer history, they never do early stuff, they get deals late on, so be prepared for that. And secondly, the whole Danny Rose thing, well, I mean, in some ways I admire Spurs, like they take a stand and they go, you know, this is our wage structure, we're not going to break it just because you've had one good season, which is what he had. So I understand that, and if they have backup, which they do, in Ben Davies, who scored, obviously, then why not just say, okay, screw you, basically. I'm sure they, you know, they seem to have a good youth set up as well. So fair play, you know, like everybody seems to think like the only way to win anything in football is to go out and just spend loads of money on players. It isn't. If you remember how Man United dominated, it was a combination of bringing through youth players who knew the Man United way, and then bringing in the kind of final jigsaw piece, you know, who would fit in and do well for you. So this whole kind of like Galactico, like we have to sign big players all the time, that isn't a, like, it works in Spain, okay? Spain's very, very different to the Premier League. You know, Man City last season, everybody was like, oh, Man City are going to bring in all these players, massive players, they're going to do so well. Didn't really work out for them, did it? Same with Man United. You know, world record transfer at the time for Pogba. Oh, they're going to win the league. Didn't even get close, did they? So, in fact, didn't even finish in the top 4, did they? So, yeah, like, I understand that also on that respect. You have someone like Wenger, who I think the thing he's got wrong there is he is trying to do that, where he's tried to be like, okay, we'll bring through youth players, and then every now and then we'll buy a big player. But I think they've just brought the wrong players. Like, everyone can see they need defenders and defensive midfielders, and they keep buying attacking midfielders. So I don't know, but hey, what do I know? I'm a Crystal Palace fan. In terms of where I am overall, 2,681,000, so below average really, which isn't very good. Although look at that, under 11,000 for Crystal Palace. There's probably only 11,000 playing Crystal Palace fans, but there you go. So thank you for watching as always. If you have any advice or comments, I'm always willing to listen. I'm recording this. Well, this goes up probably the day after I record it, so there's still time for me to make changes, and I've still got a free hit where I can change things up. So if you really think I'm an idiot for not having Lukaku in, then maybe you can change my mind. Or if you think I'm an idiot for having, I don't know, Redmond instead of somebody else, let me know. I'm delighted to hear. But till then, guys, thank you for watching as always, and I'll catch you next time.